Most brands think that the customer experience starts the moment that a customer actually puts on your t-shirt or your legging. The actual truth is that the customer experience begins at the customer's doorstep when they receive the first product. Sometimes that shipping bag can be laying out in public for hours before a customer is able to pick it up. This is literally your mini billboard. Your packaging can create or make or break the first impression that a customer has about your brand. On today's episode, I'm going to show you the packaging first impression framework so that your packaging has the lowest hanging fruit that it can have to make the best possible first impression without any of the extra bells and whistles that you don't need that a lot of first time founders fall prey to. And without further ado, my name is Shadi. I am the co-founder and creative director of Fittdesign, the world's first sportswear design agency. Over the last 10 years, I've helped literally thousands of brands go from an idea to a physical product. We've helped launch and scale brands in the activewear space from 0 to 1, 5, $10 million plus in annual sales. So the biggest thing that we typically see is that packaging is sort of the palate cleanser. It creates the first impression. And here's the mindset shift. Packaging is not an extra, it's a part of the actual core product experience. Why would you consider investing thousands of dollars into design, development, and production of a quality product, but you neglect the first thing that the customer touches and sees? People don't remember most products because the product is ultimately slightly better. They remember first products because of the first impression that they are left with. Just think of the last time that you met someone and the first impression that you had of that person. If that person gave you a negative first impression, they're fighting an uphill battle. Maybe it's something that they said or something that they wore, but ultimately the first impression sticks, and this is what matters. It's the same thing with apparel. The best part is you ultimately do not need 10, 20 different packaging elements. You don't need a thank you card, you don't need a insert or a sticker. These are nice to have, but ultimately the main three that any apparel brand should be launching so that they can get that first impression across is a shipping bag, which is the first thing that a customer feels. It's the first impression. A product sleeve, which is what individually wraps each garment and protects it and organizes it in a nice way. And ultimately it's the hang tag, which provides proof and provides the brand story. If you nail these three, the customer already feels that they're bought in to the real customer experience and that they're a part of a real brand that's been there and done that. Think of packaging in the form of a 4-step framework. Step 1 is the doorstep moment. It's when the customer opens up their door and they find your shipping bag on the floor. This is what they're asking at this point. What is this, and is this a brand that is legit? Number 2 is the opening moment, when they open up the shipping bag and what's inside is a neatly packed and curated set of products in their product sleeves. Step 3 is the reveal moment, when they've taken the product sleeve out and ultimately the product is now revealed. And then step 4 is the keep this or share this moment. It's what comes after they see the product and what instructs them to feel like this experience is something that they want to retain long term, whether it's through the packaging and having an element of the packaging that they want to reuse, like the product sleeve, or something where it's the hang tag that tells them a part of the story that gets them to buy into something that's bigger than just the apparel piece itself. Now let's break down your core packaging experience into the 3 core pieces that you need, nothing more and nothing less. The first thing is going to be the shipping bag, which I consider to be your billboard. The role that it plays is that a shipping bag offers transportation, but it also offers protection. And more than just protection, it is the first brand contact that a customer is going to come into touch with, both the customers and those around them. So the goal is going to be simple. You need to create a simple, confident looking, clean looking polymer that, even if it's been through rough shipping, can actually stand and withstand its appearance. Some moves to actually consider are going to be pick a material that's durable, that survives the reality of shipping, which is quite difficult, and packages, they get thrown around, they get moved in a less than ideal way. What you'll need to do is pick a co-extruded polymer plastic, ideally something that is a darker tone. That way it can withstand and it can hide the effects of scuffing and scratches. And you want to pick a tear-proof and water-resistant material that is going to put up in different conditions. If the polymer is left out on the doorstep and maybe the front lawn sprinkler happens to get moisture on it, you don't want the garments inside to get affected by this. So some great options are going to be darker tones. Use a tone that is less likely to get scratched. So if you're using a matte plastic polymer, make sure that the matte itself is printed onto a same dark base. So if you have a painted matte black polymer, make sure that the plastic base is also black. That way, if the matte finish scratches off over time, you don't get the white base showing through, which can sometimes happen. Keep a simple front that has bold, large branding that's front and centered so that your brand is immediately recognizable. And most brands need to know that they shouldn't over design the shipping bag. Because if you have an overly designed shipping bag, this sets the tone that the rest of the experience is going to be quite complicated and cumbersome. You need to have clean logo placement, a big logo on the front, and a short line on the back that matches your brand vibe, your slogan, something around 6 to 8 words at the very maximum. And the bag should immediately read in 1 second what the brand is and what it stands for. You should also consider having a clean, open detail for the bag. This is one of the most underrated and premium cues. You need to make sure that customers understand from where they need to open the bag. We typically like to have a pull to open and press to close explanation on the back side of the bag where the folded adhesive lip folds around and you can actually access the bag, and maybe even have a subtle surprise on the inside. So if you think of the outside as the brand billboard moment, when you open it up on the inside, having some form of insert would be something that you'd want to do as well. The second part of the curated packaging experience is going to be the product sleeve. And the role that a product sleeve plays is it's the presentation layer. This is where the product kind of changes from delivered to actually gifted. It becomes a part of your customer experience. It's also usually the moment where customers take photos of the products that they've received, especially if they've ordered multiple ones. And the expert move here is to make the reveal super clean and ultimately very, very intentional. The sleeve should look very sharp, and even before the product is fully out, you should understand what the product is inside. So for this, I definitely recommend a centered logo and a slogan on the back, your social media handles, and your website. You want to have a way for customers to understand what the product is without having to open up the actual product sleeve itself. So using some sort of semi-frosted, semi-transparent sleeve material is going to be key. That makes it easier as well from a warehousing standpoint for your customers or your warehouse staff to understand what the product is, what the color is, without having to open up each and every individual product sleeve to figure that out. Also consider adding some sort of QR code that allows customers to interact with your brand or to do some sort of action, whether it's signing up for a page, an SMS service, whatever it is. And you want to have ultimately a photo moment that can create momentum with your customers to encourage them to take that photo or to share the product. Whether this can be something like maybe a color pop, or it can be something like a clean pattern on the background of the product sleeve on the back. I typically like to do sort of tonal patterns. So if you have a white frosted plastic product sleeve, you might have a white pattern that just gives a little bit of depth to the garment. Last but not least is going to be the hang tag. This presents the proof and the story of the brand. And the role here that it plays is that most hang tags are ultimately wasted. They're usually just generic cardboard and they're full of text that nobody really wants to read or no one wants to see. A good hang tag does one of two things, or two of two things. It provides a proof of quality of the garment. If you have a high quality hang tag and you've invested into it, chances are you're going to have a high quality product sleeve. And it gives customer the language, or it gives the customers a language that they need to describe the product. It helps them understand what makes the product successful and ultimately what it is that they should be looking at for the product. This is how word of mouth starts. One clear front message should be having the word mark and the logo mark, some sort of description of the product name or even the collection name. And on the back side, you should have the details of the brand and the product that customers actually want to know. They want to understand, what is this made for ultimately, and what is special about the product that they're opening? Maybe how should it fit, and ultimately how should they care about it, or how they should they care for it. In terms of what and how to design it, you want to keep it clean with a good amount of breathing room. A very spacious or a well-proportioned hang tag indicates and showcases a well-proportioned brand. If a brand is over-designed and a hang tag is too cluttered and too messy, it's the same effect as with the shipping bag. It creates the tone and the intention that this is a brand that doesn't have its stuff together. So when it comes to how to design it, make sure you have premium cues that let people to feel instantly the quality that you're putting out. This can be thick cardboard that doesn't bend easily. This can be soft touch or matte finish materials that really feel nice in the hand. with clean edges that are not sharp, that don't dig in. And you definitely want to make sure that if you have a black hang tag, that the edges of your hang tag aren't the white from the actual paperboard that you're using. Consider color matching the base material of the hang tag to the actual print that's on top of it. You don't want to see a nice hang tag but with white edges. It just shows that, and it screams an amateur finish to the product. And it's also a small cost, but one thing I'd definitely recommend adding that increases the perceived value of the entire product. And this is what makes the entire collection feel much more intentional and much more unique. You could add maybe a small numbered tag that indicates which product this is out of the total production quantity. So if you have 350 pieces, you can have that this is 2 out of 350. You can even have a small space on the hang tag where you can manually write it in, which would help you avoid the issue of minimum order quantity. You could have a short brand mantra that describes who the brand is for and what the brand represents, or a designed in detail that allows people to understand where the product gets its roots from. Lastly, you could consider doing a subtle icon system that showcases the different features of the product in a visual format that can be understood across languages. So some common mistakes that really kill the customer experience is over designing the entire packaging. Less is definitely more in this case, by being intentional about every single element that you drop across your packaging system, and using white mailers or light colored mailers that are going to get dirty, scuffed up in transportation, having too many cheap materials that are thin, that crinkle easily, that don't feel good on the hands. It's one of the biggest giveaways that this is a brand that doesn't know what it's doing, and ultimately having tags and packaging elements with a long ChatGPT generated fluff and body text that doesn't really add to the customer value. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you really feel like you've learned a thing or two, let me know which of the brands that you've seen really have captivated you with a strong packaging experience. That way, us and the community can actually check out those brands. We can see what that packaging experience looks like and what ultimately resonates with customers. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please consider smashing a massive thumbs up. It helps us out. It keeps us motivated to keep pumping out this content from you. And I say this from the very bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Fittdesign TV. Until next week's episode, stay awesome.